Hello guys, how are you? And welcome to one more episode of Smart Keys, a podcast of Progress that we will try to bring all the information that you need to make your first step in the real estate market, specifically in Thessaloniki, but things that you can take also for your own cities or countries, in a way that everyone can understand. At least that's what we tried. Panos?
Καλώς ήρθατε στο Smart Keys, στο επόμενο επεισόδιο. Δεν θα το εξηγήσω τόσο πολύ στα ελληνικά, θα το καταλάβετε λίγο αργότερα. So we can begin.
So today we're going to speak about www.whatever you want, but www in a way that it's helping us to find deals. So what it means www is the three who that we ask in every deal that we go to understand if the deal can be good for us or not. So from who we are going to buy the property, to who we are going to rent the property, and who going to buy from us the property. Let's say that you don't have one of these answers. I'm not sure that you need to take the deal, but let's try to go down for each one of them and to understand what we need to understand. So first of all, from who we are buying. We discussed about it a few times. What is the things that we have in our mind when we discuss about from who we are buying? I will answer. I ask and I answer. When we just arrived to Thessaloniki, I remember that we discussed about it, and also now. Sometimes there is client that I tell you, let me speak, and sometimes there is client that I tell you, go to speak you by Greek or by personal conversation or stuff like that. One of the things that we do when we are asking from who we are buying is to try to create a connection. When we discuss about ideas and about some things that happened during this week, we use the word manipulation. I speak to Parashkevi. So use by the way, behind the scene, there is a girl that take care that everything will arrive to you in this way. So if you want to comment, thank you Parashkevi, it's the time. Manipulation can be something positive and not just negative. A lot of time people hear the word manipulation and they say it's negative. But it's not need to be a negative word. And manipulation is also to understand who is the person that's standing or sitting in front of you, and to understand how you can lead the conversation in a way that it will be for both of you good. For example, who is our buyer, who is our seller, can be, he's sitting in front of me now because he has economic problem. I mean, he need the money because something happened to his family, to himself. He need the money because he has debt. It's totally different if you want to sell your property because your child is going to get married and you need some money to help to, or you want to buy to your child a new car, or if the tax authority or the bank's knocking on your door and tell you, hey, you owe us money. So this can be an option. Any kind of debt or any kind of need of the money. But there is other things that you need to be much more sensitive. Example,
Could be health issues.
It could be health issues, not just a few. Let's speak about a situation that we have quite a lot in Thessaloniki. People that unfortunately lose parents or I don't know what, and they don't need the property anymore because it was belonged to their parents. And then again, you can come to say to someone, look, you have a factory of 500 meters and you are in a totally different sector, so you don't need the property, let me buy it for it. But then you understand from who you are buying.
Yeah.
And if you will say something not correct to someone that this property is emotional property for him, it's happened to us, for example, if you remember in one of the floors that we bought the place that was for 30 or 40 years the business of this guy. And he said, when he sold the property, I remember that in the contract he was crying.
Yeah.
And I told him, why you're crying? I mean, it was the first time that I understand that there is this phrase that called emotional selling. Yeah. He need to sell the property. He doesn't need this property anymore. He wants to sell this property. He even believed that he closed a good deal. But the act of selling something with so big history was very emotional for him. And this is something that I learned with the time. When I ask, who is your seller? A lot of time people say, search depth, search this, but they don't understand that they need to ask themselves how to communicate with this person.
That they need to dig a little bit deeper. Actually, I remember the story that you said now. I met this guy on the street, I think 1 year after we make the apartments, and he asked me, hi, did you make it? Did you finish it? How is it now? Can I come to see it? Because he was still emotionally attached to this property.
And I can say that in Thessaloniki of, let's say, 3-4 years ago, that it's something that it's really common for a new real estate market. Most of the people that we buy from them sell emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they decide to sell to us because emotionally we was in the correct level to respect the history, to respect the fact that it's not just 20,000 here or 20,000 there. A lot of time, again, the word manipulation, if we discuss about it, it can sound manipulate when I said that the 10,000 will not change nothing because I know that it's emotional things for you. And it can sound very bad from the side that someone say you don't care about the money or something like that, or you find a way to communicate with him so he will sell you the property. But this is business. Business is winning and winning. If both sides win and I succeed to get the price that I want to make a business for the next clients, and they succeed to get a good feeling that they pass the property for good ends. We also discussed about it a bit in the previous time that yes, sometimes I will change my plan because of these things. For example, in some of the project we keep something, a property that we didn't take. I will give an example about property that we didn't take. It was a property that I will not say the name of the owner, but you will understand the point that I said that I will call the hotel Birda Hotel.
Yeah.
And because it makes sense for me, the word, and I said that it will be Birda, like birds and stuff like that. And it was super emotional for the person that I want to buy from him because he has some connection for this name.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of time we will try to keep something that will give, if we understand that it's emotional selling, will give something that will create this feeling from the other side. And again, it can sound manipulation, but it's not negative one because it's create a win-win for both sides.
In my opinion, it doesn't sound like manipulation because this word, like you said in the beginning, is mistranslated in Greece or anywhere. It's not really manipulation, it's mostly anticipation, how you anticipate the situation and how you act according to facts. This is how I see it, but okay, we can...
And just to say that facts in this conversation now is people.
Yeah, of course.
How you acting according to facts, it's
Yeah.
mean how you act to people that sitting in front of you and give you information without to give the information.
Yeah.
When I see a woman or man, just because this specific issue was with a woman, but a woman or man sign with me on a contract and they start to cry, if you don't understand in this point, it's not a business and it's people,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the city of Thessaloniki can be a city that you can walk. I mean, this city that it's full of emotions and a lot of time the locals say all the time, it's a big village.
Yeah, we do.
It's not even a city, it's a village. Just become big, but it's a village. And if you will not understand to be a villager in this village, and part of being a villager in Thessaloniki is to understand that you don't buy just real estate, you buy the whole story with the real estate. So who is your seller? It can be emotional seller, debt seller, no need of the property seller. By the way, in the place that we are photo shooting now, I hope that the one that I bought from you will not watch it. We bought it. You remember how we bought this floor?
Actually, I don't remember, but it's a weird story.
It's a weird story. It's the guy in front of the building.
Okay.
He has a store in the ground floor.
Okay.
And when we bought the second floor here, that if you remember, when we just arrived to the building, it was like we are crazy. People make cocaine in the street, in the ground floor, and they shit in the stairs and crazy things because the building was abandoned. And then I asked who is the owner of the 8th floor, and we tried to find him, and we find the cousin or the son, I don't even remember, of the owners of this floor. And the answer was she don't even wants to talk. if you want to buy this property, go to the bank, check what is the debt, and if you agree to pay the full debt, we are in. If not, don't even call us. Don't negotiate. We are not negotiating. Don't even call us. I go to the bank. It was like God is answering me and tell me, yes, they have a debt of 45K. And I like, okay, 45K, it's a deal, yeah, we have a deal.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic price for me and we bought it for 45K and it was exactly the same situation that it's the who was just someone that tell, I just want to clean my debt.
Yeah.
So exactly like we discussed before that it was very emotional, this was exactly the opposite than emotional. I don't want to think about the property, I don't want to talk about the property, I don't want to hear about it. Clean my debts.
Just pay my debts.
Yeah, so we speak about who.
Can I pause you and put a bit of spice in this?
Yeah.
You bought it for this amount of money, and what is the value of this property today?
We renovate it a lot, and the tax authority is watching. No, but today it's value around 350.
350.
So yes, there is. You can also create opportunity, and if we speak about it in the previous podcast, that there is a potential of creating opportunity from understand what is the value, what is the potential, and from this to create a profit.
Yeah.
So it was one of the examples.
So it comes from the anticipation, like I said before, of what you're trying to buy, who you're dealing with, and then you bring the potential.
And I will add one more thing inside, the timing. I mean, when I spoke with this guy that he wants just to sell this property, it was very logic. Mm-hmm. Okay, we are in the 8th floor, that now it sounds penthouse and stuff like that. But from the other side, don't forget, it was 8th floor without elevator.
Not isolated on top.
Not isolated on top. On the way to the 8th floor, you see prostitute, drug dealers, homeless, everything.
An actual movie.
Yeah, you are in, each floor is different level of life. So I can understand. They didn't know, and this is how we create potential to value, that on the same time that I close this floor, I close also the 4th, the 5th, and the 2nd. And I knew that even if I will stay with some people, suspicious people, in the 6th and in the 7th, that by the way, in this period of time I was not in negotiating, even that today we already bought them, I will have 2 weird floors. I can live with it. And that's why the potential becomes. So we clarify what is the first who is our seller. I think that the second who is maybe the most important if we look on investment of real estate is who going to rent from us. Ideas why is the most important.
Why is it the most important? Let's say, first of all, we renovate apartments. Why it's important? Because the person that we will put inside our property, that some of our properties belong to us, some of the properties belong to our investors that we need them to sleep quietly, like you will say a bit later, I'm sure. It's important to see how the condition of the apartment will be. So it's important to choose people that they will take care of our apartments, that they will love our apartments.
Okay, this you speak now about the people that already arrived to meetings, and we have an option to choose who going to be the actual renter. But when I speak about the business plan, I want to go one step before.
Okay.
Who going to be my renter when I invest in Thessaloniki in Street? Potential to Airbnb? There is. So I need to understand the tourist market. Potential for students? There is. The apartment that I will build are for 1 person, for 2, for 4. So I need to understand what is the biggest demand. If I create apartments of 1 bedroom, statistically, I can get 1 person alone, or 2 people with a cat or with a dog. But it will not be a house for 4 people. Okay, so who is my renter needs to answer my question also of what I'm going to build. That's why it's so important part. Beside it, who is my renter is my, I will say, secure in this project, in this kind of investment. A lot of people say that the real estate is the most secure investment that exists. Comparing to stock market, not comparing to keep your money in the bank and to not make him grow and stuff like that. Because in any investment there is some risk. But why I so focus on who is going to rent for me? Because I believe that a real estate market can go up and down. of course that there is a trend, and of course that there is period of time that it go up, and there are period of time that it go down. I need to be so sure about my rent and about my potential of rent. So even if we are in a period that it's go down, maybe my rent will be damaged a bit. Instead of 400, I will get 350. But I don't want a property that in the moment that the market goes down, it will be empty.
Yeah.
Because empty property, this is not a property. This is something that sits on your neck. It's like an obligation that you have, and it's not an asset. Asset is something that provides me. Property that I have and it's empty, it's totally the opposite. It's obligation that I have on my neck, and I need to find a way to solve it. Because I need to pay NFIA, because I need to pay some electricity bill, because maybe some damage because nobody used, so the maintenance is going, a lot of things. So when I speak about who is my renter, I think if it will be students, if it will be workers. We have a lot of workers in Thessaloniki.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, when you create apartments for workers, it's not just the location, it's also the size. In the beginning, we said, you remember that we just built the first project. What was the idea?
Small units?
As small as we can.
Just to fit one person.
Just to fit one or two people. And we always said that the evolution of Thessaloniki in the future, when the price will goes up, will force us to make bigger units.
Yeah.
Why? Because if we want to take if now a one bedroom apartment take 500 euro per person, okay, I will build 2 bedroom, maybe in 400 someone will agree to share, and I will get 800 euro for 2 bedroom apartment. It's amazing rent.
Sounds great, yes.
Yeah. So these things, as much the rent will go up, you will see that the city start to have more demand for co-living. I mean, people that lives in apartments together, and this is helping us also to understand what kind of units we do. So in the beginning, we said as much smaller that we can. We understand that this is the biggest demand. So students, Airbnb, workers, that because of that, it's also helped me to understand what I'm going to build. And the idea on who is going to rent from us is so important because of the secure. And if we speak about the next who, is who going to be my buyer.
Yes.
And for this, who is going to be my buyer, there is a lot of things that we need to add, that they are not just who is going to be my buyer, because I can speak about investment market, that most of the people that will buy for me the property when it's ready or in 2-3 years will be investors.
Mm-hmm.
In this, I have a limit of what I'm selling, right? Like we always said, in this area of the city, you can sell according to 6%, in this for 5%, in this for 4%. It means that the buyer that buy from you will work according to the potential income that he will have from the rent, comparing to someone that buy a property because he fall in love in this property.
Mm-hmm.
I fall in love in this property. You have it now,
yeah, of course.
that you sell one property to someone that come and say, you told him, you're going to rent it for the... I don't care. I'm going to live there. I don't care. Or it's happened to you also in villa.
Vasilis Solgas, yes. It happens a lot. Okay, you can continue. You have a nice flow.
But what I'm saying now, it's also the point that we have in villa. By the way, let's discuss not just about good and easy things. Also in villa, for example, it's a project that we have big apartments, okay? Because we create big apartments because the area is demanding big apartments. But we have an issue. Most of the people that come to buy from us are investors. And in the big apartment, the profit, if we speak percentage-wise, doesn't reach the 4 or 5% that most of our investors used to get.
Exactly.
And then we have an issue because we are searching for people that will fall in love in the apartment, but they are not under our target group, let's say. So what is the solution that we can have in this case?
What is the solution for the big apartments?
Yeah.
First of all, we provide, let's say we can make an extra winning with a service that we have, which is our Airbnb company for the big apartments. Now we speak just about the investors, correct?
You keep the investor solution.
I keep the investors, yes. For the investor solution, we are offering an extra choice of the Airbnb company that is running the project, so the investor doesn't have, let's say, a specific monthly income.
Okay, I stop you for a moment because I want to add something.
Okay.
What you are answering now is the solution.
Okay.
And we are not running from responsibility in this project. And I say to the camera, with all the experience and with all everything, we thought that it would be more easy to sell big apartments for family and not for investors. And now, because we understand that even for the big apartments, it's more easy to sell for investors. Now, Panos can continue and say how we match it to create a situation that also investor will buy it with good profit. But we are not running from responsibility, and we learn from these mistakes. And for everyone that watch and believe that there is another way to learn besides to make mistakes, continue to listen.
You keep saying this. So now we found the solution, let's say, that we offer to some investors that they want to buy the apartment. We give the option that we run the property for them, and they enjoy from the winning of the Airbnb, let's say. Because if you go for long term in this kind of big apartments, I believe you can take a monthly rent that can give you around 3.5 to 4% max. Do you agree? And maybe if you go with Airbnb, you can reach around 5.5%.
I believe that with the Airbnb it will be a bit higher than what you say, yeah. But okay, this is solution. Second solution.
You want to give the second solution?
You have the second solution?
I think I don't have the second solution.
Okay, so I will use my girl. My favorite girl, come please, join us to the camera.
Come.
And this is the second solution. The second solution is to create, and you say hi.
Hello.
And you can go back.
That's it.
No, stay.
The second solution is to create audience for it.
Yeah.
I mean, we until now, one of the reasons that we don't have this family in our target group is not because we don't want to sell them properties, because our product is not relevant. So, Parashkevi will create a business plan about how we arrive to these people. Maybe they have different agents that searching for houses for families. Maybe our marketing is not correct for families. Mm-hmm. By the way, maybe also the way that we present deals, that most of the time when we go to present deal, our default is to speak cost, profit.
Yeah.
In these deals, it's not need to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
In these deals, maybe we need to act different when we have these customers. So also we need to make some adaptation and to understand that this mistake, I will say, I will explain now why I say like this when I said mistake, can be solved by adaptation of us. The market will not adapt himself to us. We will need to adapt. Why I do like this when I say mistake? Because of the second who. And when I succeed to rent the property until I will find the buyer and until I will adapt myself and until the investor, or in this case that it belongs to us, we are not stressed.
We're not.
Okay, in every month I will make the 2,500-3,000 euro from the rent in Airbnb, not long term. I will make this money, the property will continue to work, and when I rent it also in Airbnb, it's very easy to me to show the property for someone that is interesting to buy. You also see the property very clean and very beautiful with all the things and the design, so it's even upgrade for the selling. But in the end of the day, in the bottom line, the second who, it's what saved me from the third who that I make mistake. And in this deal that it's amazing deal and it's one of my most profitable deals, I will say, we have a delay of around few months, let's say, because we didn't adapt ourselves to the family sector. And in the big apartment, that by the way, they are amazing opportunity as investment, but they are amazing opportunity as investment because we adapt ourselves to what we need in this case.
Exactly.
And this is super important to understand how number two, the first is who is your seller, to who you're going to rent, and then to who you're going to sell. How is number two is in the end what base all the deal. All the deal. If you succeed to buy a property, even if you don't buy it for a good price, but you have strong renter because you make good research about your rent, in 5-10 years, I don't speak if you buy it 100% above the market, but if you buy 10% above the market, in 5-10 years, specifically in Thessaloniki, because it's in a very nice growing of prices, the market will fix it.
Yeah. And
then if you have a good renter, this is something that can be very helpful. So this is the www.makesmartbusiness in your life. No, I'm just kidding about the rest. Just www. Questions that you have to ask yourself before you go to any kind of deal. By the way, I believe that you can adapt this www of who with the correct subjects to any kind of business that you have. I mean, if you have hamburger shop, okay, so from who you're going to buy the food, to who you're going to sell it, and what collaboration you can create, okay? Or where you're going to put the people and what is the location. Every time you need to ask yourself some W question, what, how, who, why. All these things will give you a lot of information that in the daily life you are not sure that, okay, I buy real estate, I need to find constructor and a lawyer. Wait, dude, you are not in the way at all. The team, that can be very interesting conversation for the next podcast. What is our team and how we build the team and what is the position of each one and what you need to create before you start this kind of business. It's the bottom line and it's interesting and it's relevant. But when you will have amazing team but you don't know to choose correct projects, there is a problem. So, this was a WWW. I think that in the last week, the only things that come up as a question is some conversation that we have between us about how we can connect in a positive way the word manipulation and how we can create with a win-win situation, even that it sounds negative things. We decided to speak today about the 3 who. Because I think that it's the basic of everyone that wants to start to make business, and I feel that a lot of people from the question that you ask want to make a jump from I don't have so much knowledge but I want to deal with real estate to I want to start tomorrow, and I feel that it will be a nice way to protect people that wants to make the fast way, people that wants to make it slow and to learn day by day. Wait for the next podcast. I'm sure that it will help you to understand a bit better what is the things that you need to worry, what are the things that you need to take care, and how you can make it in a correct and safe way. Until then, we are waiting for your comments here. Every time when you add comments to the podcast, it's helping us to understand what you want to talk and about what you want us to talk. And maybe it's helping you to make your next deal. Thank you.
Thank you also.
See you in the next time. Smart keys right here.
Bye bye.